Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Quasar. It is Art. Sorry, not Polish. I was on autopilot. Not the Polish Protoss, the other Protoss. Do I have the Quasar logo? I don't. Just fixing up the teams. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player, the Polish Protoss. There we go. It is PAPI. This is Art, not to be confused with Art. Yes, it's true. We go. So we have our PvP. And we'll see how our players will approach this. PvP has a certain reputation amongst the European players. PvP is often very chaotic, very intense, very aggressive. But if you bring together certain players, especially from the European region, they're a little more macro-oriented. They're a little bit more tame, willing to get up to 3 bases and get into Stalker versus Stalker. We'll see if that's the case here. Now, there are certain exceptions to the rule. Because Mana, for example, is so prone to cutting corners and being greedy and going for gate cybercore openers, then we see a lot more aggression against Mana, for example. Similarly against Max Packs. But that is changed recently with Max Packs, as he has been embracing 2-gate openers a lot more often over the past 2 weeks. For now though, 2-gate. 2-gate out of Arts, a 2-gate out of PAPI. From here, we're going for the Cybercore, and we are waiting for our first students of choice. Do we open up double Adept, double Stalker, Stalker Sentry, or Sentry Expand? What are we going for? As we have to wait for the Cybercore. Likewise, the second pylon gets thrown down in the main base for Arts, second pylon in the main base for PAPI as well, so no one is proxying. No one is proxying, and both players will scout to confirm that. So no proxy, no cheese. Cybercore is just now finishing. And also, before I forget, of course, predictions. Predictions are open and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we get our Gamba going. There we go. We have Stalker Sentry versus Stalker Sentry. These are the most standard openers. Stalker Sentry is meant to get you into the mid game. It scouts across the map, keeps you safe, and is not aggressive, as we're not opening up with additional Adepts or additional Stalkers. So we're selling into a longer game. PAPI casting back? Yeah, let's go. Shield battery saves today. Well, again, as we emphasized, it was thanks to the scouts, speaking of, the hallucination scan in the previous game, which notified PAPI to get those shield batteries when he did. But yes, it was very clutch. Very clutch. As both players are going to be scouting each other. Again, thanks to these Sentry openers. They will move in, they will scout, and they will confirm that everything's looking normal. Both players are going to be opening up Twilight Council, both players are opening up Blink, and we spoke about it at the start of the game, how there are certain players and there are certain regions that are a lot more aggressive, but here we're being very passive, which means there's a very high chance we're going to get into Blink, we're going to get a 3rd base, we're going to go for a lower gateway count, get into a greater economy, and get into the mid game. So much more tame here. We're saturating our bases. Additional hallucinations are on the way. Would you see Arts going for a Robo before expanding? So much more safer here from Art. With a Robo, he will get access to the Observer in case there are a Dark Templar. So very safe out of Art. Hallucination does confirm. And PAPI KC expansion. So we have a safer opener out of our red Protoss, we have a greedier build out of our blue Protoss. If Arch was going for a Dark Shrine, then PAPI he'd be in danger because there is 0 detection. So this is a bit of a risk here out of PAPI. I say a risk, both players have been non-stop scouting, so they're just ensuring that there is no hidden tech. Technically, there could be a proxy pylon and a proxy Dark Shrine, and neither player would be aware, but that isn't the case here. There is no proxy, there is no threat. So PAPI does have the slightly better economy. With the faster robo, we can start immortal production, and that could give the edge in a main fight to Art. For now, again, the safety observer. Again, just ensuring that he doesn't die to DTs. Getting his detection, getting his vision. Charge on the way. We should be seeing charge soon from PAPI as well. He has yet to take up. Stalkers they get into the mineral lane, getting 1, 2 probe kills. PAPI out of position, not bad. 4 probes, 5 probes even. So even though PAPI had the faster expansion, he does bleed out a lot of workers. PAPI was distracted. No mining here at the natural either, so a little bit of a chaotic defense here from PAPI. There we go, does go back to mining, does notice. PAPI moves out, Art now takes now takes the economic lead. And Artie's back home. He's in position, he's back home, he's got his shield batteries, he has his force fields. 1 sentry goes down. Nice snipe. Gets a sentry. But PAPI has to back off. He cannot take that main fight. And PAPI, he never got charged. I feel like that's a mistake. He's warping in zealots. Ooh, he forgot charge. That's dangerous. That's scary here for PAPI, and hopefully he realizes in time. Look, he's going to charge an Archon. Temple Archives for Archon production. Again, charge should be here. Oh boy. And I'm hoping he realizes soon. As it isn't really coming into play yet. Because there has been no main fight. Zard is still building up. Both players are about to get into their Archons. And the hope here is that PAPI realizes before they clash. You don't want to realize that you're missing an upgrade while you fight, while you stop fighting. Like, oh god. So, hoping that happens soon. As Archons are morphing in. He should realize when he does look at his army when he moves, right? Like, the Zealots have a different animation. Well, I mean, they just have a slower speed. Until then, 4th base is getting up and running. And there we go. There we go. He has noticed. He noticed. PAPI charge is now on the way as... Yeah, the Zelts are far slower than the other ways typically are. So working towards charge. I'm sure it was like, what? I'm like, I swear I started it. Where is it? Why is it taking so long? Oh, I see. And it will finish in time. So it's all good. It's all good. He's not being punished. And again, just very passive. We're getting to a 4th base, getting up and running. Because of the earlier lead, you can see that reflected in the supplies, where Art, he just has a stronger setup, a stronger army. And we're just gonna max out. We're just like this is European PvP. It's just you just back off, you max out, it's just like no rush, 15 minutes. Like no rush 10. And we'll soon max. We're getting there. PAPI is maxing out. Now, when it comes to maxed out armies, the supply does lie. What is important here is the army composition. So far, we have an equivalent Archon count, true. When it comes to the upgrades here, we do have a slight advantage in favor of Art. Art, his +3 timing is a little bit faster. He's already working on +2 armor as well, so slightly better upgrades. Armies are about to clash. We have the Immortal in favor of PAPI. But he cannot push up this ramp. So PAPI forced to back up. At the same time, Zella warping across the map. We got Zelts to the main, we got Zelts here at the natural as well. PAPI has limited warp-ins as he's maxed out. This one goes down. Nice catch. Getting a couple more probes. PAPI, he sends everything back home to defend. Uh-oh, which means the gold is exposed. Yeah, PAPI, he just races, he turns everything around. This Nexus could go down, but RT doesn't commit. It's PAPI, he's turning back around. Turns back around. Art pulls away. There's still one Zelda in the main. So in the end, got 8 probe kills. Art does commit, it does push up the ramp. From here, we have so much supply not actually engaging here for PAPI. Are going for the warp in. Ooh, does get cancelled. Nicely done. Denies the warp in, pushing into a greater concave, and PAPI, he will take this fight. We'll take the fight, we'll force him back. Maintains most of his Archons. Let's go. PAPI moving out. Zealot reinforcements won't do much. Remember, Mass Archon shuts down Zealots so hard. This is where you need Immortals. You need Immortals, need more Stalkers to focus down those Archons. As Zealots, they do nothing. But PAPI doesn't keep going. I feel like there was definitely an opportunity to push in. 100%. 100% there was an opportunity to move in. But PAPI backs up. He plays it safe. He gives Art the opportunity to actually build up an army. The Archon count is still in favor of PAPI. So I still favor him in a head-on fight. He rotates over. He's catching up with those upgrades. Already has +1 shields over PAPI. That +1 shields is almost done. Oh! Nice hold position micro. He's got the concave. Couple of Zelts peel off to kill the expansion. Meanwhile, Archie's getting his mothership. See Arch coming from the inside. We get some force fields, but the Archons, they break them through. Break through the force fields. We collapse off the Archons as well. Better angle here from Art. Ooh, and he's breaking through. And breaks through most of those Archons. Can he get on top of the final 4? Yeah, there's 3 Archons left. Sorry, 4 Archons left. Nice save. Okay. Better control there from PAPI. Save some of the Archons. He does recover somewhat towards the end, but Artie still takes the fight. One Immortal putting in a lot of work in the back line. And I'm worried about the mothership timing. Checking the vision here, there's one observer. There's one, speaking of the one observer, Artie's hunting it down. Oh, he wants it. Oh, God. The observer barely survives, warping into the main. Massive warp in even. Okay. The mothership is out. Mothership is out. Zelts are wreaking havoc in the main base. PAPI being chased down. And these Zealots are depowering gateways. Still moving in. Alright, he has no detection, so his cloak isn't really going to be too impactful here. This is still the observer. But Artie's chasing. Alright, he's chasing. Zealots, sure, they're getting damage on the main base, but Artie doesn't care. He's all in. Well, I say he's all in. He's committed. He's committed. Gets a mineral line. We're trading bases. At least we're trying to, but PAPI's running out of steam. He's running out of Zealots. Alright, keep going. Keep going. We don't have to turn around. Send that PAPI. Send it. Yes, RT bullies PAPI back. Nice slow zone. Takes out the Immortal. Immortal goes down. PAPI kites back. Kites back to his shield batteries. Okay, going for the mothership. Hazard overextended. Losing all of his Archons. Archons are going down. He's going to be recalling to the front lines. Recalls away from Zealots, but that's after the Archons go down. Yeah, the recall was too late. Recall was just a little bit too late. Still reinforcing. Still rallies across, still trying to break through. Without any Archons, these Zealots, they're putting in some work. Alright, he does overwhelm, breaks through the Zealots, breaks through the Immortals. There's a couple of Stalkers remaining, but I should have it. Alright, he should have it. Again, a very, very passive mid-game, early to mid-game. But once they maxed out, then they started flashing. Takes down the Prism, and PAPI just doesn't really have much left. I say that, warps in a massive wave of Archons, okay. Did lose his bases, down in economy, has an army to work with, without warping. Just trying to hang in there. Again, PAPI just trying to make his final stand. He can still trade well against the Zealots, but there's just so much more than that here. We have how many Stalkers? We have 13 Stalkers. We have the Immortal, of course, as well. More Archons morphing in. Art, he's almost maxed. He's almost maxing out. Unlike PAPI, Art, his bases have been more or less untouched. At least in a healthier state. The Archons are pinned a little bit further back, which is a little bit awkward. But overall, already should overwhelm. Wings forward. Takes down the Immortal. And GG. GG gets called. RT will claim it. He will take a lead in the series. He will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Alright, he does take a lead. Again, we had a bit of a back and forth here between our two players. There was potential for sure. There was, of course, the moments, though, when PAPI did go for the massive warping into the main base, which was nice. He was trading and he was getting some pylons and depowering some production, but he was vulnerable to the counterattack. He lost bases. He was losing expansions, losing mineral lines. He was losing so much more due to that counterattack. And with that, GG. With that, we saw that RT was able to take an economic lead and just snowball from there. And now we're getting into Game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Maganatha, the largest map of the map pool. From here, we'll see if we once again go for a similar style. We'll see if he spices things up. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss. We have the Polish Protoss. It is PAPI. Este PAPI. And in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Quasar. It is Art. Go. getting into our next game. And again, last game we were very, very passive as we essentially just backed off until 10 minutes and maxed out before actually engaging with each other. We'll see if that trend continues here on Maganatha. There's a high chance of that happening just because of the size of the map. But at the same time, after what happened in that last game, there's maybe a chance for PAPI to maybe take a different approach, right? After going down in the first game, he might want to be more aggressive and more in the face of art. It's possible. I want to believe. So we have our initial 2-gate opener, 2-gate opener out of PAPI, 2-gate opener out of art. Hello, as PAPI does sneak around the edge of the map. Okay. Based on the trajectory here, this might be a fake proxy pylon, or we might go a little bit closer and go for a proxy Stargate. This wouldn't be a bad location for a Stargate. Either Stargate, or we could be crazy and we could hide a Twilight Council. We'll see what it's going to be. Meanwhile, we do have Arts coming in with the probe scouts, and he should check further back in the main base. Yeah, there we go. And he's looking for the pylon. He's searching for the pylon, and there is no pylon to be found. Something is wrong. Something is amiss. The pylon is missing. Cybercore is done. There it is. Proxy Stargate. So Stargate here at a PAPI. With this, is going to be going for a proxy Oracle to deal economic damage across the map. Now, Art, he knows that this is a possibility. Again, he knows that it could be a proxy Robo. Could be a proxy Stargate, could be a Twilight Council, or it could be a Fake Out, or it could even be a proxy Gateway as well. So there's a lot of possibilities here. We can see that Artie's scouting. He sends out a second probe. You can see he's scouting towards the left-hand side around the edge of the map. Unfortunately, he's scouting the wrong half. He's scouting the left when the proxy's on the right. And he has both probes in this area. Hallucination, okay, he does enter open sentry, hallucination on the right-hand side, and the hallucination will not be able to confirm. It's so close. So close. Oh, there we go. There we go. Does confirm the Stargate is fully aware of what's going on. And response, cancels the Robo. I was going to say that a Robo is not the response you want against a proxy Stargate, so he cancels the Robo. He should be expanding. There we go. Nexus is on the way. And we need a shield battery in the main base mineral line. So a good response here by Art. Unfortunately, some wasted resources and wasted time because he had to cancel the Robo. That could have been a faster expansion. So a little bit shaky here, but he's adjusting. Oracle's moving in. We have a second Oracle on the way. No wall. Ooh, and there's no wall off. With that so far, one probe. Getting one, getting two. It's an okay start for PAPI. It's two workers. Shades into the main. Two Adepts taking one-shot probes. They can and they will. Getting 5 probe kills, getting up to 6. 6 probes going down. A second Oracle has arrived. 2 Oracles, they one-shot workers. They can wreak havoc. They go for a flyby. Getting 3 probe kills. Three probes going down. Again, this is nice damage just because not a single Oracle is going down. And because of that, we can just threaten the bases. We can just force Art to be more defensive, to keep supply back at home, and to pin him down. Behind this, PAPI just enjoying a greater economy. From here, should soon be expanding. He warps in a couple of Adepts. Shades towards the main. Is denied. But again, there's a lot of pressure on Art to get something done across the map. He's getting a 3rd gateway. And if he throws down the 4th gateway, then this would scream 2-base all in. But so far, there are no additional gateways. From here, we can still expand. You can see PAPI getting ready to delay the expansion. Going for the stasis traps. This is looking rough for Art. Oh, do you see what I see? 4th gateway, let's go. 4th gateway gets turned down, so we're going for a 4-gate blink setup here with +1. This screams aggression. It screams 2-base all in. We have more proxy gateways. Sorry, more proxy pylons, I should emphasize. And PAPI's expanding. So, PAPI, he's ahead. He's ahead economically, that is true, but he's down when it comes to production. He has 3 gates himself, so he's going to be down in a gateway. He's going to be, of course, investing resources into an expansion. Meanwhile, Art, he's going for a 5th gateway. 2-base all in. 2-base all in here by Art. Let's go. It's all or nothing for the Blue Protoss. Going for a 6th gateway. So 2-base, 6-gate all in. And then again, he's behind, right? It makes sense he would go for an all-in because he has had a rougher start. Hallucination should confirm no expansion, no 3rd base is a massive tell. PAPI, we need shield batteries. There we go. Shield batteries are on the way. Are these too late? We have 2 shield batteries here at the 3rd. We have 1 shield battery at the natural. Stasis traps are being set up. I'm loving the stasis traps. If PAPI blinks forward, then he will be punished. Sorry, if Art blinks forward, he'll be punished. PAPI fortifying as hard as he can. As he has 3 stasis traps. Likewise, he has 3 shield batteries, depending on where the army engages. 4th shield batteries on the way. More stasis traps. Jesus. More stasis traps. Again, PAPI, he knows. Oh! As one Oracle goes down. Good sign for the Oracle, but there's a revelation. And we knew those warpins. Nice bait in the first stasis. Baits out 1. Does he notice the others? And does he know? Does he notice? Steps forward. Nice force field. Zoning back the army. Little Stalkers are not engaging. Remember, Art has a massive Stalker lead. Thanks to the all-in. Stasis goes off. Oh my god, the stasis are brutal. Does catch half the army. Half the army gets caught. PAPI Art has to retreat. PAPI trying to chase him down. Ooh. Better fight for Art, at least initially. Has to respect the Immortal. Stasis trap is about to run out. He's diving for the Immortals. He's gonna get 1. Yeah, 1 Immortal goes down. Can he get the other? Oh, he will. Yeah, he barely does. Energy overcharged a little bit too late. With the army size here, 16 to 10. No more stasis traps. More shield batteries on the way. Fighting out of range of the shield batteries. A lot of soldiers are going down. Once again, diving the Immortal. Does 2-shot. 2-shots the Immortal. Sentries again left behind. Yeah, shaky defense here from PAPI. Art's blinking in. Ooh, depowers everything. Sorry, depowers one of the shield batteries. The other one is still powered. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, PAPI getting desperate. Again, the Stalker count is just not there. We have 21 Stalkers in favor for Art. 21 Stalkers. And he blinks in. Yeah, he's done it. He has broken through. There's 1 more stasis. Stasis does go off. The Immortal still barely goes down. And now he retreats. Alright, he retreats. He has to get the hell out of here. That stasis did eventually come into play. It's keeping PAPI alive. So he's trying to survive, but again, stasis runs out, takes down the final Immortal. And Art, he has done it. He's broken through. I mean, we have a couple more Stalkers warping in, but still only 9 Stalkers. The shield batteries are running out of energy. This time he's fighting within range. This is the big issue, this is the big problem with the initial defense from PAPI, is that he was fighting out on the high ground, out of range of most of the shield batteries. We had some of these on the natural base coming, like they did support somewhat, even here. It's too far in the open. Down to 2 Stalkers. Down to 1. And still warping in. Still reinforcing. With the help of the Immortal, maybe. Now we're 2 Immortals. Okay. Immortals are pretty good. If they survive, though. Another Immortal goes down. Nice snipe. Once again, collapsing on the final Immortal. Snartosis pylon depowers everything at the natural. And no more Immortals, no shield batteries. Wasting a Chrono as well. And I'm just ensuring that nothing gets powered. And you can sense the frustrations from PAPI because remember, he saw it coming ahead of time. He saw it coming. That's why he was setting up the shield batteries with the stasis traps, with the Immortal production. But as you mentioned, I do feel like he did fight a little bit too far out of range of most of the shield batteries. So they didn't come into play until it was forced to, until it was forced back. And GG gets called. Art, he will claim the series 2-0. Art will advance on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Art, he will claim the series. My condolences to PAPI. He did fight hard, and again, like, he was setting up as best he could in that last game, but alas, some rough engagements, some rough fights. He had some nice moments with the stasis traps for sure, but you could even see him being punished for it as well, where we saw Art being so careful with his army. Whenever there's a stasis trap going off, he would back off. He would always go back in to capitalize on his army as well, to focus on those Immortals. GG. GG, well played. Art does claim it. And we've had nothing but 2 0s so far. We've had nothing but 2 0s as previously. As we can just catch up on the brackets and see where we are and see what's coming next. Let's go. Let us go from the top here. We have Mixu. Mixu took down Hatsu 2-0. We had Nicorite taking down Mixu 2-0 as well. So again, we have Nicorite waiting in the 3rd round. Likewise, we had Art. Art took down we had PAPI. PAPI took down Homono, and then Art took down PAPI 2-0 as well. So we just finished up the upper. There we go. We just finished up the upper portion of the bracket, and now we have the 3rd round getting ready. We have Nicorite versus Art. That's going to be occurring next week. We have Art versus Sebestus, also going to be occurring next week. Again, different Art. Now, can we stop the Art versus Art? Can we stop that from happening? That's going to be very confusing. That's oh no. Can we stop them from facing off Este, Nicorite, and Sebestus? That's who we're cheering for. That's no bias. We're cheering for them. Otherwise, it's going to be a very difficult cast. Hi. Art is ahead. Who? You know what I said. So we'll see if that happens. It would be fun though. It would be fun if they do play. We'll see if they can. We'll see if they can get there. For the time being, though, we're going to be heading down to the lower portion of the bracket. As I mentioned, they're going to be playing next week. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have Percival up against Moja. That'll also be next week as well. But we have these lower matches. This is where our attention lies here. So we're going to be going on a break. And when we come back, we're going to be wrapping up the initial rounds. We're going to be catching up with Jumi versus Baby Marine, with UD Soldier versus Demi, and the winner versus Young Yakov. So these are the 3 final best of 3s for the broadcast. And again, we'll be getting into that after the break. Is the plan. Is the plan. It'll belong in a museum. Yes. It'll be art. All lowercase. But with that, we'll see you guys soon after the break with the conclusion with the remainder of tonight's broadcast. See you soon. Bye.